The following featured presentation is part of the Skywalking Network.
This is what you can look forward to on episode 478 of Skywalking Through Neverland.
And this weekend is for the ultimate fans, the people that are waking up early, going to bed late, to wake up early, to go to bed late.
Well, she wasn't the best role model between 2013 and 2016, so why are we giving her this prestigious award?
But you think the D23 audience was going to let her get away with that?
No.
It smells like burnt plastic.
It smelled like burnt ugnaught.
The part that almost broke me with Frank Oz was the fact that he felt that he was never good enough.
I'm so glad we're doing this because there's so much information given.
This
doesn't even sound familiar.
No.
Are you ready?
Welcome to Neverland.
Here we go.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land.
When I first made Star Wars, everybody in Hollywood said, well, this is a movie Disney should have made.
You're more than just fans. You're family.
Best day ever!
Secrets lab.
It's about family, and that's what's so powerful about it.
Hey.
When you use a bird to write with, it's called tweeting.
When we visit the world of Disney, we never grow old. It's a Peter Pan, Neverland that keeps us young in heart.
This is Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you are skywalking through Neverland. I have a good feeling about this.
Hey, Skywalkers! So have you absorbed all the information in part 1 of our D23 breakdown? Did you agree with our reviews? Please let us know.
Or if you didn't agree, let us know.
No, we don't want to know that. But right now, we want to welcome you back to
Skywalking Through Neverland.
I am Richard Woloski. Now, everyone, please say hello to my sweetie wife, Sarah, who's wearing a different hat for this episode.
Yes, we had a costume change.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right. Well, Skywalkers, we are your enthusiastic podcast destination for the many decades of your Star Wars, Disney, Marvel, and pop culture fandom. So it's time for your second weekly Wookiee hug and a little special sprinkle of pixie dust for our family of Skywalkers. Now, we are live right now on the Skywalking Through Neverland YouTube channel, and we want to say hello to all of you new subscribers from D23 and Comic-Con.
The virtual Cantina tour,
Yeah.
Midsummer Scream, or if you just met us at the Disney parks.
Yeah. And if you've been watching for quite a while, we welcome you too. Now, if you haven't already, please hit that little bell for notifications so that you know when we go live. Like some new people here, we have Bloom and Grogu. I love these names. Meredith's here, Kelly's here. We've got
Michael Emke
Michael
is here.
Emke. Yeah, awesome. We love when you guys join us. All
Okay.
right.
Well, to pick it up, we still need about 942 more subscribers
To hit 10,000.
Yes.
Whoa.
And we need to do that, let's say, by the end of this year. That's not too much of an ask.
Okay.
Come on.
Let's do it.
We can do that, Skywalkers.
Gotta go to some more conventions.
Now, in part 2 of our breakdown and review with Courtney and Kelly Turckel from the Neverland Clubhouse, Joey Pittman from the Disney Universe podcast, we tackle the remainder of the Disney Parks showcase, and then we get into the very heartfelt Legends ceremony.
With Harrison Ford up first.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And last.
That's right.
Harrison Ford bookended the Legend ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get into talking about the show floor, the activations, and so much more.
That's right. All right. Well, we are being sponsored by Small World Vacations. We want to thank them so much. They are a diamond level Disney vacation planner travel agency, and they can help you book your trip to Disney parks around the world and Disney cruises. There are so many cruises coming. Now, best of all, this service is free of charge, so head to smallworldvacations.com today for a no obligation price quote and tell them that Skywalking Through Neverland sent you.
Now, we are recording this from Long Beach, California on August the 13th, 2024. And for these longer shows, we're trying to keep them very tight, so we won't do Today in Star Wars history for these next.
Yeah.
For this episode and the last episode.
Even though Meredith is asking.
I know she's asking what happened today in Star Wars history, but you know what? You'll get it. You'll get it next week, okay?
Got to crack open your book, Meredith.
Yeah. You should know. All right, now we have much more to go for our roundtable. So right now we're gonna launch back into the Disney Parks showcase, and we're talking about Deadpool.
Yes, we're talking about when Deadpool crashed the panel, just like we're crashing you. Okay.
All right, take it away. So Deadpool pretty much took over the last 20 minutes of this whole showcase.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, he came to say, "Oh, I think you should do this and this and this and this," and he had some fun.
He wanted to give his ideas.
Not go up in flames like that dragon.
Yeah. Oh, like the phantasmic dragon.
A lot of phantasmic
Murphy.
dragon jokes.
Poor Murphy.
Yeah.
Even the one with Festival of Fantasy too.
Yes.
Yeah. And so it was great because they had a Deadpool come out on stage and sing and dance.
And then Lady Deadpool came out too.
She took charge.
I'm surprised none of you Turckel sisters mentioned it starting with Uncle Jesse.
Oh, John Stamos. He was amazing. He sang When You Wish Upon a Star, right? Yeah.
And he even got choked up.
And he got choked up.
Yeah,
and
we
was
talked about the
teary-eyed.
fans.
And talking about the fans. And he was so happy, and he's such a Disney fan. Yeah. But yes, John Stamos was amazing as well.
And so were Skylar Astin and Darren
I was
Criss.
just going to say, Darren Criss and Skylar Astin
So
helped
to get through all the announcements that we needed to, they put it in a song.
And they rattled them off. And you know what? It was the best way to get the updates without dwelling on updates.
I know Darren Criss is from Glee.
Yes.
But are the two of them, are they on a Disney show?
No. Skylar Astin is, he's very much in the musical world. He got his start on Spring Awakening on Broadway with Jonathan Groff, who
plays
also on Glee.
Who plays Kristoff.
He plays Kristoff.
And King George in Hamilton.
And King George in Hamilton. And he was also in Pitch Perfect, all three Pitch Perfects. It was a very good way to keep things going.
Which was in the style of the Oscar shows that Billy Crystal would do.
Yes.
Tiana's in Disneyland opens on a very special day.
Yes. Tiana's Bayou Adventure opens on November 15th, which we all know is Courtney's birthday.
And the first day of Christmas.
And the first day of Christmas.
But Courtney can't go because she's got a wedding.
Oh,
no! They don't need to know that.
All right, now for all the Floridian Skywalkers out there, what is opening up at Disney World, Magic Kingdom?
Well, okay, so Zootopia is taking over the Tree of Life.
Yes.
Instead of A Bug's Life.
Yes.
Yeah, Bug's
And they're getting Encanto and the Casitas.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so they're getting Tropical Americas at Animal Kingdom. And that will include Indiana Jones.
Exactly. A brand new story.
A brand new ride, attraction.
A Mayan temple this time.
Yes, a Mayan temple. And then also they're getting a casita for Encanto, which you will be able to go in and things will happen. You'll go in different rooms.
Yeah, you'll go to all the different rooms. So we might even go to someone we're not supposed to talk about.
But we're supposed to end up in Antonio's
room, who he can talk to animals.
Did we mention this is going to open at Disney's Animal Kingdom?
Yes. We did. Yes.
It's in the Dino Land area. That we do know where it's going. We know it's in the Dino Land.
And the cool thing too is the way they announced the Indy ride was we got a little map of it being, and hear the orchestra playing again with a
Indiana
guest
Jones.
conductor.
Yes, the guest conductor happened to be Kihei Kwan.
Yes.
Yes.
So that was I love seeing him. I mean, I'm so
He's
glad
always so enthusiastic.
his career is so back. It's
Yeah, and the crowd swell of applause and cheers really showed you
the fans love him, and he loves the fans. Yeah.
And this will take the place of the Dinosaur Land at Animal Kingdom.
Which is the exact same track as Indiana Jones in Disneyland. So
last time we were there, it was so vacant, like tumbleweeds rolling through the park.
Well, right now it's a big pile of dirt because dirt has moved there.
And the highlight of the Dino Land USA right now is Chip and Dale in their freaking cute little dino pajamas.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That's one of my few viral TikToks.
Yeah. Yes. But then there was a huge swell because in Magic Kingdom they're doing the biggest expansion ever. which will include a Villain's Land.
A Villain's Land and also a Cars.
And a Cars,
Land.
2 attractions
In
added.
Frontierland.
Yes,
In Frontierland.
now in Frontierland. Now, this is very interesting. I think this is Disney's answer to
Epic
Universe.
What the
Epic
Villain's
Universe.
Land, yes. Yeah.
Epic Universe is.
Epic Universe is the new third gate of Universal over there in Orlando.
Because they announced Dark Universe, which is the Universal Monsters Land. Yes.
So now we get the villains.
And the Villains Land has been a want and a rumor for years.
Yes.
It was literally just a matter of who'd get to it first.
Right, and it was kind of blue skied at the previous
At the
D23.
last
And everybody was really mad about Blue Sky in it.
But they were also really excited that they are thinking about a Villain's Land. So the fact that the Villain's Land actually came to fruition is a really good positive.
And apparently dirt has been moved.
Yes.
And who gets
that was said a lot. Dirt has been moved.
But I don't know where the dirt has been moved on the Villain's Land, because they had the magic mirror from Snow White start that, and they said a broken land. But also they in the opening montage, they did have a Tomorrowland thing that looked like Magic Kingdom's Tomorrowland, but I don't think they're getting rid of their Tomorrowland, so I don't know where it is.
I feel like they're going to expand behind the tracks of Frontierland area.
Yeah, it's always been rumored that it was going to go behind their Frontierland.
Yeah, again, another patent thing.
But their Frontierland is also getting Cars.
Yes.
Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Some people are very excited about that, like our friend
concepts.
I get it. I get that they're excited about Cars, but in Frontierland?
Well, Frontierland kind of it's like the Old West, right? It's the West. And Route 66, you really think about that as being the west southwest of the United States. So I think it fits.
Okay. According to the concept art, I think it fits. It's just story-wise, it's wow, they're just going from a bayou in Frontierland to
And so right now, all you have at Frontierland is Big Thunder Mountain.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
And the thing is also, but the little off-roading cars, they look like they might be a trackless thing.
Oh.
I don't know. It's still concept. So
yeah, we didn't get too much information at all about it. But Mater's
speeding through.
I'm just saying that if
pun
they want to
intended.
go off-roading, the best way to do it is probably trackless.
Yeah.
Yes. But Mater kind of brought that segment to life. Mater came in, so
But Magic Kingdom is getting a nighttime parade.
Yes.
People were so excited about this.
Because they have wanted a nighttime parade back in the Magic Kingdom for years.
Since the Electric Parade went back to Disneyland.
Yes.
Because they had Light Spectrum before, and they really liked that
They
one.
haven't been able to have a nighttime parade in a while.
Why is that?
I don't know.
I'm not exactly sure.
Well, I mean, I know the parks close earlier over there, so that might be why, especially in the summertime when it's lighter out.
But I think because they just they've never had the nighttime parade after the Main Street,
Main Street electrical.
I'm gonna go grab another Harry Potter. Anyone want anything?
I'll have just a few sips of that.
Okay. And then why don't you segue into Monsters Inc. land?
Oh, yes. Okay, so Billy Crystal paid us a visit.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Oh my God, this was so fun.
And I'm here because I've got some news, Josh, that's actually bigger than some shaggy blue monster that I'm a good friend of. Would you like to hear it? I don't hear you. Did you really want to hear this? It's pretty good news. Okay, here we go. They're going to build the first Monsters Inc. land in a Disney park. That's right, everybody. And it's coming to Disney's Hollywood Studios. But Josh, I did have one question for you. My grandson and I share the same birthday, which is March 14th. And every year we come to Disneyland, whether he likes it or not. And last year he turned 11. I didn't. And I was walking around with a baseball hat just like everybody else, and nobody recognized me, and it sort of upset me for a while. But I'm walking next to this woman who's pushing a 4-year-old son in a stroller, and they're covered from head to toe in Mike Wazowski t-shirts, hats, sunglasses, everything. So my question is, do I have a piece of that?
So we're getting a Monsters Inc. ride, and we will be able to ride on the doors.
Yeah, it will be the door room.
That's right.
So-
Okay.
I love that.
So
Yes.
it looks like your feet hanging kind of roller coaster, and it looks like you're riding pretty much the Scream canisters.
The Scream canisters,
Wow.
yeah.
Now, is this the
Because-
first suspended roller coaster that
Yes,
Disney
it is.
has
And
ever had?
because it's...
Did I say it was Indiana Jones that was the first
Yeah.
suspended? Okay, it
No,
was
no,
the
no.
Monsters Inc.
It's Monsters Inc.
Monsters Inc. Yeah.
Because it is the Scream canisters because it is after the first movie where they are starting to use laughter instead of the screams.
Yeah, right. It's in between.
Yeah,
Monsters.
it's in between. And
1 and
like maybe Monsters at Work is kind of in the same zeitgeist as it. And we will be able to tour the factory.
Yeah.
And you will see, he said you will physically see doors picked up, removed, dropped in.
Oh, wow.
So that's happening.
When I first saw that in Monsters Inc. in 2001, my first thought was, this is going to be an attraction.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had to wait 24
be a whole
years.
land.
Yeah.
You know what still needs to be an attraction is the Indiana Jones mine cart
Oh, yeah.
roller coaster.
It's in Paris.
Yeah, apparently Paris.
It's in Paris.
It is?
Yeah.
Field trip.
Yeah, let's go to Paris. Let's do it now.
And
Well, speaking of Paris.
well, I was going to say before that, I'm excited for that roller coaster, but if we're getting a Monsters Inc. land, as a foodie that I am, we're getting the Harryhausen's restaurant.
Oh.
That's in.
Are we getting a Harryhausen?
We got it. We got it.
I
We
missed
got
that
it.
part.
We got to get
He
it.
did not announce it, but we
No,
better.
they didn't announce it.
No, he didn't announce it, but they said we're getting a Monsters Inc. land.
I
You're not-
mean, in
you
the
gotta have
concept
Harry-
art, you got to have Harryhausen.
You got to have Harryhausen's.
And
so.
this goes back to Ray Harryhausen, who is the godfather of stop motion.
Yeah.
Animation.
King Kong and all
a
those
lot of
Sinbad.
stuff in Monsters Inc. was based on Ray
Yeah.
Harryhausen.
But this makes so much sense in Hollywood studios. Pixar, Toy Story is already there. It's just, I think it's going to be a great addition.
Yeah.
No, it's funny, and at the back of the theater they have the scrolling teleprompter, but for the big announcements like
Oh,
Billy
I was looking
Crystal,
over there.
Yeah, Courtney kept peeking.
almost
I was
read
like,
to see what's coming
I
up.
knew exactly what it was before they even said it.
I was staying away.
And they were saying special, and they were rolling into the Billy Crystal announcement, but they didn't let anyone see
Yeah.
the name Billy Crystal before
Right,
he
yeah.
appeared on stage.
Yeah. Yeah. No, when they were announcing Tiana's Bayou Adventure date, I literally read it before they said it, and I went, Courtney, it's your birthday.
And sometimes we'll like take screenshots, like take pictures of the teleprompter, just so later on we can say, oh, that's what he said.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the information.
That's
given.
nice. That was nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, it looked like one of the rides, I can't remember what it was, but it looked like a rock and roller coaster.
The roller coaster for the doors.
For the doors.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Wait,
Now-
the Doors is gonna have a musical roller coaster?
No,
they
I
replaced
they
Aerosmith with the
gotta
Doors?
replace
Break on through,
Aerosmith, right? They gotta replace Aerosmith.
Some of the thinking is that the rock and roller coaster will turn into the Monsters Inc. roller coaster. We don't know if that's true. We don't know where that's going. So
Yeah, because I mean, it could be the animation courtyard and into that area, but they are bringing back the Little Mermaid. But it could be for a limited amount of time show, and then they break ground on this new Monsters Inc. ride because it was announced way before that, I guess.
And I think
don't
Florida
know,
parks
but-
they got the ability to build out if they need to because there's so much space.
Yeah,
so.
I was gonna say Florida has the land anyway. They may just build a whole new land.
Exactly, that's true. But speaking of, Paris is one of the attractions we were really excited about. The whole Lion King land.
Well,
Splash,
going
Lion King Splash Mountain, basically.
I know. Right?
Yes.
That's where it's going. It's going in the new, the reimagined adventure, Disney Adventures.
Disney Adventure World.
Adventure World.
Adventure World.
I'm so glad we're doing this because there's so much information given.
I don't remember this at all.
doesn't even sound familiar.
No.
Yeah, so Paris,
that model
the Hollywood.
of the Savannah with the Pride Rock and the thing. If you were in the
Imagineering Pavilion.
I must have been, Instagramming.
Yeah. Well, the Imagineering
it was only
Pavilion
there today.
changed today.
The last day.
Yeah, the last day it changed.
Yeah, we couldn't get in there.
We
didn't either. But our friends Amanda
and Kevin,
Amanda, Kevin, and Kim did, and they sent a bunch of
Because
pictures.
there's a couple blank spots that were there.
Yeah, and they have a carousel going into
The Americas thing.
the Americas. Oh, excuse me.
Courtney, what are you drinking, Courtney?
Mango, beer.
We'll edit that part out.
It's been a long weekend.
Stay tuned for the bloopers.
So they have a carousel going into the tropical Americas where it is a Disney characters on this carousel, which they've never done before.
Animals, Disney animals.
Disney character animals. Like there was Timon on there, and then they had a live, like they actually had a finished Kevin in the Imagineering.
From Up, yeah.
Yeah, Imagineering Pavilion. So they
And
have a
this-
Kevin.
this is
you
in
can
Paris?
ride. No, I'm sorry, I jumped. This is back in tropical Americas, right?
Okay, and Animal Kingdom.
Yes. Let's go back to Paris.
But Paris is you're going to be in the Lion King. You're going to be on the savannah. There's going to be a cave where you get to go through the story of the Lion King, and then it basically turns into a log ride.
Did you miss all of this?
We missed all of this. When was this?
It was
What the
announced
heck?
for Paris because
I think we
because
tuned out because we're like, okay, we're just gonna cover
Hollywood
Studios is a mess right now.
Well, Hollywood Studios is all under construction in Paris. So they have Disneyland Paris, and they have
It's like the left side of
Paris
Disneyland.
and Hollywood Studios. They are changing their name of Hollywood Studios to Disney's Adventure World. And they are creating adventures in different lands.
Starting with the world of Frozen.
Yes, starting with the worlds of Frozen. So they're getting the Frozen world that it was in.
That just went to Hong Kong? Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just went to Hong
Hong
Kong.
Kong.
It's coming to Paris.
Are you seeing this giggle?
It's crazy. So,
Did we leave at this point?
I don't know. I don't remember this at all.
World of Frozen is coming to Paris because that is in the
sweepstakes. Yeah, you can win a
sweepstakes.
trip.
You can go there.
Oh, I forgot to enter tonight. This is the last night.
Hurry up.
Oh yeah, before 11:59. So then they showed the Lion King one.
Yes.
Okay.
And then, but they're also going to have a nighttime spectacular that's kind of like World of Color.
So Pride Rock is like Splash Mountain. Seriously.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks.
Wow.
It said that you were going to go down
that makes sense.
down the hill and underneath Pride Rock, and you would go through the story of the Lion
And it's a
King.
water ride.
Yes.
It
This
is a
is why
water
I
ride.
tuned out. I don't
It's
like
all-
water rides.
It's all water rides. Like even Avatar is a water ride. Everything is a water
Hell
ride.
no.
Okay, that explains things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's based on Way of Water
Yeah.
and Fire and Ash.
Yeah.
And then let's see, Hong Kong. I think they're getting a Spider-Man drop ride.
There, like a lot of parks are getting Spider-Man rides.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yeah,
Well,
I
'cause
think
they
all
got-
the ones that have Avengers campuses.
But Hong Kong's doing their first. They're going to be
It's
the
a
next.
drop ride.
It's going to be the
Yeah. And with Doc Ock and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Cool.
I wonder how much of this Sony's getting.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think. Yeah. Who knows?
I don't know about the contracts, but it always ends up with the contracts.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other really big announcement that they made was the Disney Cruise Line.
Oh, we get 4 new ships.
We are getting all the ships they have announced this year. We are getting the Treasure. We are getting the Destiny. We are getting the
Adventure.
Singapore. We are getting the Adventure. And we are getting another 4 ships. That is in total, we are getting 13 ships on sea by 2031.
That is crazy.
Which one of
pants.
those ships on the photo looked like it was going through a certain
Yes.
shaped letter
A certain
A.
shaped arch to Hawaii, maybe?
Possibly.
Possibly to Alani. Yes. So it was very exciting to hear.
Although they did announce that one of those ships was going to be stationed out of Japan. So
Yes.
I don't know
At
which one or
least.
anything, but they had announced that beforehand.
Right.
That there was going to be a ship that was going to be stationed out of Japan.
Which that'd be
So they're
awesome.
obviously making a lot of money on the cruise lines.
Yes.
So they're investing
And
a lot. to
They
make a lot
finished
more.
out their 3-day cruise line announcements last week with the stage show that's going to be on the Destiny, which is the Hercules show.
Yes.
Yeah.
That looks really fun.
Which was the one that we were like, hey, Black Panther's the statue, and there's a lot of Marvel in here. It should be Rogers the Musical.
I mean, they're making 4 new ships. Give me an all Marvel ship and Rogers the Musical.
Yes,
But didn't they announce a Moana show?
No.
Yes, they did. Well, they said the villains was because they were talking about Taka and being a puppet and stuff like that for the treasure.
Oh, yes. That was a show on the treasure.
Now, wasn't one of these ships the Halcyon?
Too soon.
Too soon.
Yeah,
Although you can still see the Halcyon on the Wish at the Hyperspace Lounge.
Speaking of Star Wars, there were some Star Wars Galaxy's Edge news during the gaming section, which another area where I kind of tuned out because we're not gamers, but
they brought in over a million viewers on Fortnite.
Yeah.
stream.
So this telecast was being broadcast through Fortnite through a gaming system, which I don't fully understand. But they were going through Kevin Feige and Dave Filoni and other content creators. Say, okay, what do you got? And Dave Filoni said, oh yeah, by the way, we're gonna do a new Smuggler's Run edition.
Yes.
Where you see Grogu and Mandalorian as you're flying the Millennium Falcon.
Because they were on D23 day at Disneyland, and they went on Smuggler's Run just to see, because they had asked them to, hey, maybe we can bring in Mando and Grogu.
Since you're filming.
Yeah, and this was all because Disney is partnering with Epic Games.
Yeah.
And Epic... The engine is creating these Mandalorian and Grogu graphics for the Smuggler's Run.
Right, and also Stagecraft itself, like the Unreal Engine, which both Epic Games uses, and Stagecraft, which is how they film Mandalorian and Grogu.
I didn't understand the correlation.
That's the correlation.
You got to watch
right
Disney
there.
Gallery.
I was excited about this because it's about time that Smuggler's Run got an update.
Yes.
And I love being the Millennium Falcon, but I was just sit there and watch what's going on out there because there's so much you're going through this tunnel and that tunnel and over here. It's very kind of confusing because there's just too much information out there. I'm trying to figure out what's going on instead of trying to blast TIE fighters and
like I was telling Courtney and Kelly too, is like, this is cool because they're like, you know what? Screw the timeline that we opened the Galaxy's Edge with. Let's just have fun for Star Wars fans.
I think as they are really slipping away from that.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna do it
like
gradually.
we said, Josh D'Amato said, we hear you.
Yeah.
We're fixing it.
Yeah.
It's in development.
We're hearing Star Wars music during the fireworks show.
Yeah.
So I think it's little by little. And like I've said before, do you know who's complaining?
Nobody.
No.
Yeah.
So now we're going to open
Not
it
in
up.
the room, at least.
So it's
Not
not
in
just
the
the
room.
timeline between The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Now we can do anything like they do in Avengers Campus.
We don't give a shit.
Yeah, the more you say that, the more I got to edit, okay?
Hashtag Sarah Smith.
Just give it to us.
Yeah, so I was extremely excited about seeing Mandalorian and Grogu in Smuggler's Run.
Two things, if you know me, two things I love a lot about Star Wars is the Millennium Falcon and the Mandalorian. So, boom, let's do this.
He's a happy camper.
Let's go.
All right, from here, let's jump over to what we saw tonight, which was the Legends ceremony.
Oh, the princesses.
Yeah.
Can I just jump to this? Okay.
Yep.
All right, I'll start.
Yep.
So first of all, they were honoring
Mark Henn,
who is, I guess, the Disney princess animator.
He is.
Right?
Unofficial, but yes.
Yeah, so...
Specific Disney princesses.
Right, exactly. Yes. So Disney Legends and Princesses came on stage. So Jodie Benson, who plays Ariel, Paige O'Hara, who is Belle, Linda Larkin, who is Jasmine, Ming-Na Wen
as Mulan,
and Fennec Shand.
Yes.
Okay, and Anika Noni Rose, who plays Tiana. Thank you. So they all came out on stage. 5 beautiful women, 5 beautiful all one color dresses, gowns.
That was the color of their character.
Yes, they had all coordinated. You know, they had a group chat.
Yes.
We're like, okay, you wear this.
What color are we represented? We're representing our colors.
Yes, and so they all came out on stage, and they all basically had something to say about Mark Henn. Yes. But before they could talk, everyone in the audience, all 12,000 of us, were like cheering them because it was
They're
them.
legends themselves.
They're legends themselves. Yes. And so they got kind of overwhelmed. By all of us.
Well, it kind of like got down the line.
Yes.
Because they all were like saying one line and going to the next one, saying one line, going to the next one. And Ming-Na Wen got an amazing reaction from the audience. And I think it was the loudest. And then they kind of had to go back to the other princesses, and we all kind of had to clap for them too.
Well, we did. I mean, yes. But like, I feel like
but everybody was clapping.
We
did. I mean, we all gave them a warm welcome, of course. But Ming-Na Wen went on a little longer.
Well,
louder.
Well, what it was it was like you said, Jodie Benson, Pedro O'Hara, Anina Naki Rose, Linda Larkin, Ming-Na Wen. But the way they did their speech, it was Jodie Benson over to Ming-Na Wen. So everybody gave Jodie Benson the yay, Jodie Benson, woo. Yeah. But then when Ming-Na Wen, then it just erupted, and she broke.
Yes.
And that's what
whoa.
it did it for.
That was really cool.
Then the more she broke, the more people just applauded her.
Yeah.
Because she is the best.
Yeah. Then that was one thing about this night. Like, I feel like the whole legend ceremony was really like in that room. It was special.
Yeah, I mean, this was a great group of legends to be honoring, groups of people that are long deserving of the Legends title. Mark Henn being one of them, Joe Rohde being another, John Williams being another.
14.
Yes.
Yeah. Legends.
Yeah. So, I mean, this was just a great group. And this is our 5th one, but this is our first Legends ceremony.
Same here, mine too.
So what did you guys think? Because we've been to like every one, I think.
Yeah, no, I was so moved, and the 2 things surprised me. Okay, and the first one was Jamie Lee Curtis, and Lindsay Lohan came out, and I expected that because they're working on Freakier Friday.
It made sense.
It made sense. And I love that she came out and gave her praise and love. Jodie Foster came out, and they all have Freaky Friday in common.
Yes.
And they're best friends in real life.
And they're best friends, and she gave a beautiful speech.
Jodie Foster did.
Yes, about Jamie Lee Curtis and how generous and how nice and how giving she is in real life, on top of the talent that she has.
And just little idiosyncrasies of her personality, too.
And then she got up there to accept her speech. And beautiful speech, just beautiful speech, wonderful. But then she was mentioning her favorite ride or attraction is Carousel Progress, which we all know and love. Yes. And then
she said,
I'm not going to sing no. But you think the D23 audience was going to let her get away with that?
No.
Yes, it's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, and tomorrow's just a dream away. Man has a dream, and that's the start. He follows his dream with mind and heart. And when that dream becomes a reality, it's a dream come true for you and me. And that's what's happening right here.
And so we clapped and cheered and clapped and cheered and clapped and cheered. And she's like, okay, I'll sing it if you all sing it with me.
Yes!
And so an entire 12,000 people room sang There's a great, big, beautiful
tomorrow.
But not a single mumble. Not a single mumble in that room.
No, everybody
knew
knew
the song. Clear as day, 12,000 people sing There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it was the most moving moment I've seen. I love that song. I love that attraction.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites. Now, the other thing that surprised me, and I didn't really think I would get emotional, but Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of negativity came out when she was announced as a legend because they thought she was too young and maybe hadn't done enough. But I think that we all forget that, she changed the face of Disney Channel at the time. And she was talking about how she got the part and how she was trying to be Hannah Montana, and Miley was crying, and she just couldn't stop just being so grateful and thankful for the role. And a lot of people look down on their first big break and don't want to go back to a character that they were for a very long time. And I think that she's always said that Hannah Montana was always a part of her, and she dedicated her award to Hannah Montana. Yeah. But, I was in tears. I really was. And we got a full-on concert with The Best of Both Worlds, which is the theme song from Hannah Montana, and from Lainey Wilson, who is a big country star right now. And I really, really loved her speech and her accepting the award. And I think that nothing that she will do in the future will be ever as big for Disney as what she's done in the past for Disney.
Yeah, after Hannah Montana, she was really trying to break away from Hannah Montana.
And that was really why everybody felt the emotion from her, because as much as she was trying to break away from it, now she has
embraced
it. Yes.
It's kind of like the Star Wars cast, Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford, who were like, no.
I'm Han Solo, I get it.
Yes.
But she's like, what, in her 20s still?
30s.
Maybe 30s?
She's in her 30s.
Okay, but it wasn't that long ago that she was Hannah Montana, but she's already
the thing
coming
is
back.
I think she's done a lot of soul searching, especially after her divorce from Liam Hemsworth. And, she did a lot of things, like she said, between 2013 and 2016.
Sorry, Mickey.
Yeah, she's not proud about.
Yeah.
And I think that really showed in her speech, because a lot of backlash came from she wasn't the best role model between 2013 and 2016. So why are we giving her this prestigious award?
And I think that she's learned and she's grown and she's, an adult now. And I think we all just need to give her a little bit of
that little nostalgia emotion has creeped in.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And, I was a little older for the audience of Hannah Montana, but it was a really good show, and the music was amazing. And again, Hannah Montana debuted the same day as High School Musical, and High School Musical premiered that night in January of 2006, and the first pilot episode of Hannah Montana premiered right after it, and those two things changed Disney Channel forever. And so the fact that she was honored as a Disney legend, I feel, has just them thanking her for making Disney Channel relevant again, and for putting music into kids and bringing theater and rock and pop back to Disney. And I think that it was very, very well deserved.
Yeah, most Disney kids go from being a Disney star to like, hey, I got to break out and do some R-rated stuff, and then come back to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Princess Diaries girl.
Oh, Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway did the same thing.
Well, I mean,
she didn't go. So did Julie Andrews.
Yeah.
Julie
Andrews did that.
Victor Victoria looking at you.
Well, Anne Hathaway didn't go hey, I'm gonna go smoke, drink, and do all this stuff.
Oh, she did the movie Havoc, which she was showing some.
Havoc.
She was showing some bare skin there.
And Elizabeth Berkley felt some backlash when she did striptease.
Well, and you got Lindsay Lohan and Miley Cyrus on the stage at the same time, and
yeah.
they're both.
Yes.
Come full circle.
Over time, let's move on with life. Let's not hold on. You were guilty of one thing. We're going to hold you to that.
And everybody makes mistakes as teenagers.
Absolutely.
And young people. And it's
just like the Hannah Montana song, Nobody's Perfect.
Yeah, nobody's perfect. And, I just thought her speech was very moving, and it struck a chord. And,
Yeah, that was very heartfelt. But let's talk about the first one who got their Legends acceptance.
They swung for the fences
early. The first one to get the Legends stature of the night was Mr. Harrison Ford.
Presented by Bob Iger himself.
Yes. And you know what? They showed the clips of Harrison Ford's roles, and they really focused on Han Solo and Indiana Jones. There was nothing about Brave New World. There was nothing.
Yeah,
there was nothing. But that's
not
why
much.
I think they're they're stepping him up to this Disney legend stature because of Brave New World.
Yeah. He is Mr. President.
Exactly.
But there was nothing there telling of that.
Well, I think they were showing how he got to this place.
Yes.
Because it's Han Solo and Indy that
Right,
brought him
but
to this place.
now the big next Disney property is Captain America.
Yeah.
Why
Yes.
not end with that when there was never no mention of that? But I'm happy with Han Solo.
Yeah.
Let's just focus on Han Solo and Indiana Jones. I'm good with this.
Well, even before they announced it, Legends, when Dial of Destiny was coming out on Disney Plus, they also announced the Harrison Ford career documentary that came out. I forget what the name of it is, but once they released that at the same time as Dial of Destiny, I'm like, he's going to be a legend.
Right? And then also at the Music Emporium, they had an entire box set of all the Indiana Jones songs.
It's so beautiful.
I wanted
Yeah,
that.
but it was so expensive. But it's an entire box set of it.
But his speech again was just very moving, very choked up, very appreciative of the love and support that the room was giving him. And it was, again, a very good moment in
and the first thing I pointed
show.
out to Courtney, because we're this is the third night, and we're looking, and there's teleprompter. That was the first time the teleprompter wasn't used, so it was clearly from the heart.
I love the people that I've had the opportunity to work with. Nobody does anything in this business alone. We work in collaboration. No matter who we are or what we're doing, we're working on an idea. I have the privilege of being a storyteller. An assistant storyteller. I have my part of the story to tell, but so does everyone else. But the stories are for you, about us, our common humanity. And to be able to work in that area is a privilege. We have a bond between us that's based on the quality of the product, and Disney produces great product. I'm very honored to be in the company of the other people that are being honored tonight. I'm really delighted and a little bit embarrassed by this, but I'm so very grateful. Thank you very much.
And
some speeches were not on the
his was not on at all.
And some speeches were.
Yeah, and you could tell because we're jumping around, but like James L. Brooks, iconic writer, doesn't like speaking in public.
Yeah. So it was short, sweet, to the point.
So, and I'm just going to say, the Harrison Ford was amazing, but I just want to say all the speeches were just.
Oh yeah.
But also
amazing.
some of the speeches were like paused where they like kind of went off the rails and kind of ad-lib their speech.
Yeah.
I mean, you get up there and everybody's cheering for you and on their feet. A lot of people got standing ovations. Most of them got standing ovations. And it's just, you forget to look at your speech or you forget to say, but you actually just feel and say what you're feeling in the moment.
Yeah.
And that room was special.
That room was special.
Yeah. If they learned anything, let's have all these recipients be placed on stage because most of them are in their 80s and it took them a little while to get up that flight of stairs.
Yeah.
So next time, let's have them all right there so they can just walk 15 feet to the microphone.
Yeah.
Well, Courtney, did you have any special moments?
I really enjoyed. I cried during the Mark Henn one with all the princesses when he was saying his speech. I was in tears. But Colleen Atwood.
Oh, she was.
I
good too.
loved her
Costume
speech.
designer,
the costume,
Colleen
and she's the
Atwood.
first ever costume designer to become a legend. And her costumes are gorgeous. Rob Marshall introduced her. She worked on The Little Mermaid, Into the Woods, which is one of my favorite movies of his.
She did a lot of Batman work
Numerous
for Tim Burton.
movies.
Yeah, Tim Burton.
Tim
she did
Burton.
Alice in Wonderland and all of
Dumbo.
that. And
They were,
Dumbo.
and they were talking about how she's just all about detail.
Yeah.
And creating the character and
Well, Rob
putting.
Marshall introduced her.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Rob
he was
Marshall.
talking about how like just some of the little things she did in Into the Woods, like especially the Rapunzel design. You know, Rapunzel's she's kept in a tower, and so her design of her costume is like all these braids and stuff, like binding her, and like.
But also, she wanted to put the texture of wood in everyone's costume because
for
it's
Into the Woods. Yeah. And then also a very special one was the Disneyland the Disneyland.
Martha Blanding.
Yeah, Martha Blanding. And the Dapper Dans came out and sang Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse, and the Disneyland band came out, and Derek Huff introduced her from Dancing with the Stars, and they did this big song and dance number, just because she'd been with the company for a long time, worked her way up.
70.
I think she said
69.
50 years.
Yeah. But she was like the first black woman who was
a tour guide, and she said in 1969 her school counselor said, "Why don't you do something with your hands? Because that's as much as you're gonna get out of life."
Yeah. And she said, "Don't let
you're not
anybody
gonna work
tell
in
you."
corporate America.
You don't even think about Disney.
Yeah. Exactly. She said, "Don't let anybody tell you can't do something because that is not true."
But not only that, but the cast members that were in the audience and the cast members that were working, like the VIP guides that were for the legends, they came out and watched her speech and stood at attention for her.
Like military.
Stood at attention, and the cast members
special
in the audience that were there as D23 guests were screaming for her.
Yeah.
Like, she's really known in the cast member circles, and she, I believe, got a standing ovation
from the cast members in the room.
Well, not just the cast members, but everybody.
Really.
But
I stood for her.
But we really showed our love for the cast members that work day in, day out at the parks to make those magical moments for us. And I think her standing ovation was like minutes. It was a long time.
Because I think looking at all of the people who were honored tonight, she is the only, let's say, regular person,
like non-celebrity.
Non-celebrity. Like, she's not an actor, she's not a filmmaker, she's not a writer. I mean, she wrote a book, but like, she's not a screenwriter, she's not anything to do with
her
entertainment. Face
isn't out there.
Yeah.
Like
you
like she's not a household name.
Yeah. Exactly.
Basically.
So I think that one meant a lot.
Yeah. Especially when you get the same crowd. Yeah, same ovation as a James Cameron, Harrison Ford.
I mean, maybe
not
Angela
a John
Bassett,
Williams, but
I
mean, come on.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Other than Harrison Ford, another big one I was waiting for, Mr. Frank Oz.
Yeah, that one broke me.
That was a good one.
Love Frank Oz. And he went up there and said, "You know what? I feel very embarrassed for being up here by myself. I really need all the Muppeteers behind me. I need Jim Henson behind me." He gave thanks to George Lucas. He gave thanks to Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Because it was Mark Hamill that really made Yoda into a character. Because Mark Hamill didn't react to this puppet as a puppet. He acted to him as a character, which brought all these scenes from The Empire Strikes Back to life.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated Frank Oz going through this whole list of people that he really needed to thank, people who should be there on stage with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was telling the girls on, we're waiting for the shuttle home, because this was one of my highlights too. But the part that almost broke me with Frank Oz was the fact that he felt that he was never good enough.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until recently it's like, okay, I can accept myself for who I am.
You're freaking Frank Oz. What are you? But
he was talking about self-esteem and how he didn't have much of it.
But then kind of, you see these guys or these people, and we put them on a pedestal, but sometimes they're going through some stuff even worse than what we're going through.
They're people too.
They're human, and they all have human emotions.
I was going to say, the only thing that I think they missed the mark on a little bit was, I think they should have brought out the Muppets and had them do a song in honor of Frank Oz. It just kind of was, I know they were honoring him not just as a puppeteer.
Director,
but they were honoring him as a director as well. So, but I just felt like they could have had one more performance and had the Muppets on stage with him.
Well, there was no Muppets at the Muppet panel, so
I know.
I don't know. Maybe the Muppets were busy.
Steve Martin sent in a video saying, "Hey, you were one of the best directors I've ever worked with. Having worked with him with on Dirty Rotten Scoundrels and Bowfinger.
Yeah.
And I was really expecting a little bit of Yoda-ism coming from him.
Yeah.
Frank Oz has always said, I will never do Yoda out in public. Or even if kids come up and say, do Yoda. It's like, no, Yoda is, he is Yoda. I'm Frank Oz, that's Yoda. I can't just do Yoda willy-nilly.
Right.
Which is totally opposite of Billy Crystal, we found out the night before, because he saw some kid with a Mike Wazowski shirt. He's like, "Hi, Mike Wazowski," and he's like,
he was like covering his eye.
Yeah, but Yoda is one of these characters that
Yeah.
belongs up on a pedestal and should stay there.
No, absolutely.
And the more he does Yoda out in public, the more Yodas will be taken down from that pedestal.
That's why there's a Yoda statue in San Francisco. I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah, that part broke me too. But and this was, I mean, I don't know, I don't know if I said this before, but this was also my first Legends panel, and even with like, you know, previous panels, like I could have gone to when George Lucas and Stan Lee were presented. I'm like, I'll go in the basement and watch. But once they announced this lineup, I'm like, I gotta be in that room.
Killer lineup.
No, everybody.
So much,
It was great.
everybody.
It was a
And,
great group.
So I'm gonna, for me, I'll just go real quick, but I'm gonna piggyback on everything all you guys mentioned, but Angela Bassett.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Come on. I mean,
She deserves it more than anything. That woman needs an Oscar.
Because
I swear.
what Ryan Coogler was mentioning, the scene that when she's talk on Wakanda Forever, when she was talking to the UN and all that, when they showed that clip at the previous D23, right after that clip, I looked at our friend Brianna. I'm like, hand her the Oscar right now.
Yeah.
She didn't win it, but she was nominated for it. But I mean, yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ryan Coogler had honored Angela Bassett like in his speech, and
They
just,
brought out the Dora Milaje. They
Yeah,
could
that
have
was
brought out the
amazing.
Muppets.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
And Ryan Coogler is the director of Black Panther.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right. So yeah, he was mentioning how he said, okay, so now like she had done take 1 and 2, and for take 3, he just kind of gave her a note like, bring the fire.
Well, he's saying, remember that scene in Waiting to Exhale?
Yeah.
When you blew the heck out of that car? We want to see the fire in this scene.
He said, "Burn it down, burn us down."
And then after she had done the take, before he even yelled cut, the crew was like, oh, that's the one.
Yeah.
Give her an applause.
The crew was like, okay, we're going to call it, that's the take you're going to use.
Yeah. And then going from that, then the surprise. I mean, I think he deserves it, but James L. Brooks.
Oh, yeah.
That, with the Simpsons and Danny DeVito. I mean, that was...
Yeah, he is
Danny DeVito,
the producer of Taxi and Simpsons, Rhoda, Mary Tyler Moore.
Oh my God.
And being introduced by the Simpsons at the beginning, too, was pretty awesome.
How come I'm not a Disney legend? I'm like the Mickey Mouse of this whole deal.
You're the Mickey Mouse and shut up! Get back in the house!
I thought Disney was family friendly.
It's entertainment!
Somebody call me George. I think they're going to be fighting in the head for a while.
You little...
Help me, Bob Iger.
Oh, and like
Help me, Bob Iger!
Yeah, Bart and Homer fighting, and it's classic Simpsons, and
But another surprising one was Kelly Ripa.
yeah, Kelly Ripa was.
Because, I mean, going into this, I was like, Kelly Ripa, really? But to find out that, like, she hasn't worked for
any other company.
No other network. She went from job to job to job, from All My Children to Hope and Faith, which, like, she played Faith. Hope had her actual name. No, Faith had her actual name. She played Hope.
Yes, I think so.
When they showed clips of everybody's career and stuff, and they showed the clip of her first appearance as a guest on Regis and Kathy Lee.
I know, and she's like, I want to be you, Regis.
Yeah.
Well, and she called him Reg, and
she always
like,
calls him Reg now.
She always calls him Reg, but she called him Reg, and like Kathy Griffin was like, and Regis was like, like she was just so casual with him always. And
the next clip was her first show on the Regis
and
and Kelly show.
And she met her husband through Disney, being on All My Children. Yeah. She's had her whole family and been pregnant through being on the show, and had her kids and showed off her kids, and now they're all grown. And so I thought that was good too. And Ryan Seacrest came out and said
gave it to her.
and gave it to her.
Ryan Seacrest.
Although I thought he was going to be...
What doesn't he host?
Right, but I actually thought he was going to be a surprise legend because
that was my guess,
of
too.
everything about American Idol and Fox and
I
merging
mean,
with ABC.
eventually he may be.
Well, I would say because especially he's been doing the Dick Clark New Year's since even when Dick Clark before he passed.
But Kelly Ripa, she's so good on the fly. She gets up there and
the cameraman, she was
yeah, but she gets up there and the first thing she says is, "Ryan, I'm so glad you found something else to host."
Yeah. Why don't you host? Yeah.
Has Ryan Seacrest ever aged?
No.
He looks like he still did when
sure he gets
when he
Botox.
did American Idol season 1.
Yeah.
He is the new Dick Clark. That's why.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if you know who that is, then
you
just showed yourself like I did.
And you get extra points from the Skywalker Network.
Exactly.
All right. Then the show ended with John Williams, Kathleen Kennedy, and Harrison Ford came out to announce that the last recipient was John Williams, who unfortunately could not be here tonight.
Yeah, I was so sad that he wasn't there.
Yeah.
And like you said, it was really sad, but it shows how great. I was telling you again in line, I'm like, I'm bummed we didn't see him, but that ceremony was so good. I'm okay with. I hope he's doing good.
Yeah,
they mentioned for health reasons. I mean, he's 91 years old, but
yeah. Well, he turned 92 in February, so let's Johnny, you stay home and rest.
Exactly. Put your hands in the cement still. We'll send a car.
Yeah.
You've done enough for about 15 lifetimes.
Yeah.
So you stay home and rest, Johnny.
But it just shows how great and how amazing all the recipients this year were. Like, I'm not bummed. I mean, a little bit bummed, but.
Yeah, but
it was still
and we
so
still
amazing.
heard his music, and
live orchestra.
it was being filmed and it's on Disney Plus tomorrow. So
yes,
I'm sure he'll watch it.
On August 12th at 2 p.m. Pacific time, this will air.
It was really good
on Disney Plus, or you can watch our highlights on the Skywalking Through Neverland YouTube channel.
Yep, there you
was
go.
in the room.
But another really magical moment that I thought was Joe Rody.
Oh, that was amazing.
Because he
with
did
the Harambe dancers.
Well, not only that, but Jane Goodall.
Yeah.
She was through video. She announced him, but yeah, I thought that was really good. He got a really nice standing ovation and has probably deserved Disney legend for a while. Because of all the stuff that he did for the conservation and the creation of Disney's Animal Kingdom.
And Alani.
Yeah.
And Mission Breakout.
Exactly.
I mean,
that all debuted like the same day.
Yeah, he went from open to Animal. No, he opened Pandora.
Yes.
Pandora.
Flew to California to open Mission Breakout on the same day.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Both coasts.
Yeah.
Shout out to James Cameron.
I really liked Joey Rody, and then I also found it really moving, like Steve Ditko for Spider-Man.
Yeah, his nephew.
And his nephew went up there to accept it for him, and just the fact that he could feel the love from the room for Steve Ditko creating Spider-Man and all of that, I thought was very cool. I thought this was just a really good group of legends.
All right, so aside from all the big three highlighted panels, just let's quickly go around and say what other panel you saw at the convention center. So
like that was a highlight.
That was a highlight.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So I'm gonna say the Muppet panel. I love me some Muppets. But I thought this was going to be more on the Muppets, not so much on the archiving of the Muppets. But it was still fun to see the actual props that the bicycle that Miss Piggy rode on, and the great Muppet caper, and her sash from the Muppet movie.
The boa.
The boa, yes.
Benjamin Gunn's dress. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I
Muppet Treasure Island.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was hoping to see Frank Oz out there with Miss Piggy.
Me too.
Just because in the last couple of years he's saying that the Muppets really have lost their soul.
Yeah.
So to have him come back as Miss Piggy would have been a huge highlight, but that didn't happen.
Especially the way it ended. Like we can't celebrate Miss Piggy without. We're like, you hear the crowd like Frank Oz. Then they mention the song.
Yeah. Yes.
But then Jodie Benson comes out, which
Which
still
is fine, but
Voice of Ariel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who sang Never Before, Never Again.
Never.
Muppet
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
All right, Courtney.
the Percy Jackson panel. It was really good. They showed a sizzle reel from the second season at the Entertainment Showcase, and then they had a whole panel. They brought out the whole cast of kids that will be in the second season, which is the main three, Percy, Annabeth, and Grover. And then they brought out Luke and what was her name? It starts with a C.
Carrie.
No.
Camille.
No.
Charlotte.
close. But she's the daughter of Athena. Athena?
No. Ares.
Ares. She's the daughter of Ares. And then they brought out Toby. What's his last name for Black Sails? Because he plays Poseidon.
Yes.
And then they had the 3 showrunners, executive producers and showrunners there. And then they brought out, they call him Mr. D as the camp director of Camp Half-Blood. But he is actual Dionysus.
Yes.
So it was a really fun panel. They did a game. They did a question and answer. The kids were really stoked because the last time they were out, it was at a panel nobody went to.
Because they didn't know what it was.
Oh,
we
we went to that panel.
But it was a Disney Plus panel, wasn't
It
it?
was the Disney Plus panel, but they named it something else, so nobody knew
It
what
was the
about.
musical Spectacular
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Which was a play on High School Musical, the
Yes.
series. And it was just the 3, like Percy, Annabeth, and Grover. It was just the 3 of them. So it was the first time that they...
No, Grover.
Oh, Grover.
And so it was the first time that they were all together on a press junket in front of a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it was in the premiere stage, which is the arena. So it was a big room for this panel. And it was moderated by Juju or Straw Hat Goofy from TikTok.
Yeah.
And but he does a lot of interviews and he does really well for being a TikToker. It was just an emotional panel and a really fun panel. They played the Sizzle Reel again because the first season went off really well. They're going to do the Sea of Monsters. They've done that in the movie form, and that's as far as they went. So we're hoping they do this season right. They were really stoked about this chariot scene that I guess is really important to the second book. So they were really stoked about that scene with a smolder and everything.
They tried to get Percy to smolder, and he couldn't. But then they showed the trailer, and everybody before it, I said it, but a couple of people, they're like, "Shows the smolder."
Yeah, and then this was like, and then they gave away the Camp Half-Blood shirts with their signatures of their character names on.
That's cute. Yeah,
You got swag on that?
Yeah, this was
I think the only panel that gave away swag.
Yeah, and the funny thing, and my highlight's the same panel because we're both fans of the show. Okay. Our Elements of Fun, little plug.
Yeah.
YouTube channel. We did a recap on the season, and we really enjoyed the show. But Juju the moderator was wearing a shirt, Camp Half-Blood. Then halfway through the panel, I realized on the arm it said Disney Plus. I'm like,
yeah, and it was the same color and like design as like all of these other fans in the audience wearing the Camp Half-Blood shirt, but theirs did not have a Disney Plus sign.
Yeah, they were like, and so I'm like, then he announced it at the end. I'm like, sweet.
Yeah, so we all got these shirts.
But the only thing I'm going to like this, if the show's so good, if you haven't watched it, is
go watch the show.
Yeah, it's very entertaining and for
I've
those
read the books actually.
Yeah,
and for those who haven't seen the show, they're like, I saw the movies, I didn't really care for it. One thing Courtney knows is one thing that could take me out of a movie or a show are kid actors. No offense to kid actors, but if they're bad, I'm done.
Or directed badly.
Yeah, but all these kids I really enjoyed in the first season. But the highlight of the panel, in my opinion, was Dionysus, which was done by comedian Jason. I'm going to mispronounce his name. I've seen. He's been in.
Oh, he's the perfect Dionysus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jason. Mantzoukas.
Mantzoukas. He's been
in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
Like the crazy guy.
And I followed his stand-up a lot. He's hilarious, and he was on point.
Parks and Rec too.
Yeah.
He was on it.
Yeah.
He's the perfect Dionysus.
Yeah, and he was great.
If you read the books, you know this.
He was great on the panel, and then we were introduced to Percy's brother. So new character.
Troy.
Yeah, they had a full. It was a full panel, and it was amazing.
Like the most of one cast I've ever seen before in a panel.
I've heard a lot of good things about this panel.
It's what we can watch the series. It's very cute. It's fun.
Okay,
it's a good series.
All right, Sarah.
Okay. After all of that, okay. So yes, the Music of Marvel panel was like my number one panel going in. I'm so happy that Bryn got the RSP for that, the reservation. So we were able to go to that. That was the very first thing we did at D23. And for me, the highlight of that panel Well, first of all, Michael Giacchino was in there.
Moderating.
And what was funny is I had just seen him 2 weeks before at a panel at San Diego Comic-Con in which he asked all the composers, okay, name 2 movies that describe yourself. And he did the exact same thing for this panel, which I thought was
2
funny.
soundtracks that describe you?
Yeah, 2 soundtracks, movies, movie soundtracks that describe your personality or how your career or whatever. But the highlight of this panel, and we were able to record this whole panel, so this will be available, Skywalking Through Neverland YouTube, the whole entire panel, so you're welcome, you guys. But my favorite part of it was the fact that we got to hear the whole Fantastic Four theme that he has created for this new Fantastic Four First Steps film. And it's like 5 minutes. They play like the whole suite.
Yeah.
And this, to me, was equivalent to D23 back in 2013 when we got to hear Idina Menzel sing Let It Go for the first time.
Yeah, we're like, this is never going to go anywhere.
Yeah. So, like, this to me was the equivalent of that.
Well, and the whole room was silent, just kind of closing their eyes.
Yeah, closing their eyes, letting the music wash over them. Because it starts very kind of 60s jazz, retro, mid-century modern.
But then as you get to the end, it's of an Avenger movie, like you can tell, a Marvel movie.
Which is awesome. I'm totally getting that Incredibles vibe right into, like,
Yes.
you know.
And he also...
Which he did Incredibles.
The soundtrack to Incredibles, which is very similar mid-century modern family of superheroes.
Yeah.
So it was very cool. Brought it full circle.
We posted this on Facebook.
Yes.
And it's
on Instagram.
Instagram. It's been getting like mixed results.
Yes.
People are saying, I like the 2005 version, and I'm not too crazy about it. But then other people like Michael Giacchino, I'm there for this.
Yeah.
Oh, and a lot of this is great. This sounds very retro. This sounds very much like you're listening to a Steve Ditko comic, which is the greatest compliment you could ever get.
Yeah. So it's cool. So if you haven't heard the theme, that particular portion of the panel is already posted on our YouTube channel. So go listen and tell us what you think in the comments.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like John Williams. Tom Hanks and Leonardo DiCaprio. Catch Me If You Can.
Catch Me If You Can.
Catch Me. It sounds a little bit like that.
That's great.
At the beginning, yes.
At the beginning. But then it gets full Marvel, and I got chills tingling up all my arms at the end of that 5-minute theme.
That's awesome. I can't wait to hear it.
All right, Kelly.
I would say the highlight, I got to go to my first masquerade. And we've never been able to go to the masquerade because it's always against usually something like one of the big panels that we've gone to or something like that. And Sarah got the RSV for that. And Nina West came out, and she was the host. And she came out and did a whole number in the beginning and a whole musical number. And I was like kind of Instagramming it on my story. And somebody commented, was that Nina West? I was like, yes, it was. And just the costumes were incredible. I think this was such a fun panel in the beginning. The hype man had us all doing the sunshine and the moonlight and the disco, whatever. We were dancing around.
Blame it on the boogie.
Blame it on the boogie, yeah.
So who won?
Well, there was lots of winners.
Yes, they had 3 categories.
Yes.
And each category had a winner. And then they had
an
audience
vote.
Yes.
So
there's 4 winners.
Yes, I remember that the Anastasia, Queen Anastasia, won. It had 23,000 Swarovski crystals on it.
She had hand applied.
Yes.
It was amazing.
It was gorgeous, and the lighting that hit that dress. Oh, it was so beautiful.
At the end of the movie, that all you see is that dress glittering. So I understand.
Yes.
The work going into that.
Yeah. And the me and Sarah actually, when we were coming in that morning, we had seen the flowers.
Yes, from
the Golden Afternoon.
Yes, thank you. Golden Afternoon
from Alice in Wonderland, and they won the group category.
Oh,
correct.
Cute.
Yes, and then I believe who won the last category?
Well, they were the last category.
No, there was 3 weren't they?
I know.
3 categories.
Yes, there were.
Okay. Well, then the audience category was a fan vote, and that one was won by the Walt and Snow White.
Yes.
That went from black and white to color.
Yeah, so
Okay, I need to
Walt
see
Disney,
something about this.
A Walt Disney and a Snow White came out. They were in like black and white. So like the makeup was
even
black
their
and
skin
white.
was black
The
and white.
skin tone was like that
Wow.
gray. And they had this prop that the Walt character came out, and it was like a
Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, it was Steamboat Willie, and it would
Doing the whistling,
flash, like the turntable, it would flash, so it would do the animation of the Steamboat Willie.
Yeah.
And then the Snow White character went from black and white, and she spun around, and she flipped her skirt, and she had a little trouble, but she changed into the full color version of Snow White.
Even on the skin?
As well, yeah, she didn't. I think
I
her
don't
skin
think
tone
she
was
was.
regular.
No, but
Yeah.
Walt was definitely.
Yeah,
black.
Walt was the black and white
yes,
gray.
yeah.
But she was not. And so her dress went from the black and white version, and then Walt brought out this big pencil and like kind of went down her dress, and she changed into the full color version.
Okay, because I was
of
like,
Snow
that
White.
would, like, changing full
Yeah.
makeup would be weird on stage.
And
so.
she had a little trouble with her spin, but if you sped it up, it worked.
Yeah, but these were the all the costumes were just so great. There was
Yeah.
like a Doc Ock.
Oh yeah.
There was a tiki bird. Like she was.
Shout out Tina.
Yeah,
Barry.
Tina.
Yes.
She had all the
She was
tiki.
the tiki room.
Yes.
Yeah,
She was the
Fifi, Gigi,
all the
Bibi.
white
All the
birds.
birdies.
Whatever
all the
happened to
birdies sing.
Rosita?
Yes. Yes.
Exactly.
So I just thought it was such a party, and Ashley Eckstein and
Colleen Atwood was one
a judge.
of the judges.
Yes.
And she was a Disney, named Disney
Yes.
legend.
And
Wow, costume designer, and she's judging your costume. How
yes,
how
and
special.
and Caitlin McHugh Stamos,
Yes.
and Yvette Nicole Brown.
Yeah.
And it was actually
She was everywhere.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, she was. She was
Yvette-
in the Muppets panel.
She hosted the movie panel.
Oh, gosh.
Running from side to side.
Yeah.
Hardest working woman in.
Oh yeah, she should be a Disney legend herself. But then before, even in the start of the panel, it was Nina West's birthday, and Yvette Nicole Brown's birthday 2 days, probably today.
So Ashley Eckstein brought them cupcakes.
Yes.
Oh, cute.
Yes.
Of course she did.
Yes, of course she did.
Because she's the ultimate hype friend.
But she also was wearing. She was wearing.
Ashley Eckstein. Well,
yeah, she was a Lottie.
Lottie-inspired costume.
Yeah, a Lottie-inspired costume from Tiana.
Oh, okay. Lottie.
So it was very cool. It was just a party, and everybody was happy, and all the costumes were great. And so I really thought that was a highlight for me too, for the panel-wise.
Sure, absolutely.
All right, now to wrap it up,
Yes.
what is one thing you learned from this experience that you'll take to the next D23?
Well, I have one more thing that I want to share before we wrap that up like that. Because on the show floor, there was one thing that I wanted to do, and I wanted to do it so bad. It was the first thing on my list. And I wanted to go to the Alihi Cravalho conversation at the Disney Animation Pavilion at 2:00 on a Saturday. And that conversation, it was about a half hour with her and the director of Moana 2. And it was my ultimate highlight of D23.
Oh my gosh.
And she talked about auditioning for the role. She talked about getting the role. She talked about how excited she is for Moana to be the first princess to grow up and be able to age, and how she's grown up with Moana. And like she said, I got the part when I was 13. I'm now 24.
Wow.
So she has learned a lot. And she is just so real and so charismatically honest. I mean, she dropped the F word on the show floor, and nobody batted an eye. And, so I just think that she is awesome. And I love Moana, and I love everything that she stands for. And Moana 2 excites me so much. And I do have some clips that I'll share with you from her panel.
Fabulous.
Yes.
All right, well, I'm going to give a shout out then to the Lucasfilm Pavilion,
Yeah.
which had the volume, which I've always wanted to be on the volume set. And here you are. You can be on the volume set, and there's 3 different backgrounds. One was the Imperial hangar, one was a Rebel Alliance hangar, and one was the Dayu set from Obi-Wan Kenobi. I only got a chance to do the Imperial set, which was really fun. I posted the video on Instagram. It's so lifelike. The camera, the way that moves and the background moves.
Yeah.
It's like you're right there. And I've always wondered, how does this actually work? And the guy explained it to me that the camera is connected to the computer, and so wherever the camera moves, the computer is going to show that particular angle, that perspective from on the background. So it never looks wonky.
Right.
And then in and around that, they would have little demonstrations of Quill. They have the creature effects department from Legacy Effects come up and show you how Quill from Mandalorian moves. And at one point, they overheated and Quill caught on fire.
It smelled like burnt plastic.
It smelled like burnt Ugnaught.
So what you're saying is he has smoking.
Yeah, there you go.
Waka waka.
Yes.
Waka
I
waka.
saw another one. They had a demonstration of Huang from Ahsoka, which these puppets are just phenomenal. And we'll be posting all this on our YouTube channel as well.
Well, a cool thing about that, too, just to piggyback, I had to get a picture of it, but you see the back of what it looks like, and it's just thousands of just like lenses and...
On the volume?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like so many different computer screens.
Yeah.
Right.
And
this curved
it's not just like one big screen. It's like all these little monitors that combine make one complete background.
Yeah.
Just beautiful. All right, so going back to the question I asked a couple minutes ago, what will you take from this D23 that you'll take into the future? What did you learn? I'm going to say don't need to have to plan everything because there's so much going on that you'll always have something to do. But do plan out, because I did meet a couple of people who were kind of walking in circles like, I don't know what to do, there's so much to do. Plan out your key activities.
Have like 3 things you want to do per day, and then just be happy if you do one of them.
Yeah.
Be flexible.
Your schedule will change as the activations pop up.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I don't know if we've learned this from our other time, but it's always be present and thankful for what you get to do and not what you didn't get to do. It's a really hard thing to do because it's like, oh, I didn't get to do that, or I didn't get to do this. But there's always something around the corner that you don't expect. And like today, I kind of took it easy. My leg wasn't really cooperating today, and I didn't get to do the TVA experience like I wanted to. But I went shopping, and I was able to get some things from Rock Love, and I was able to get some things from Mickey's of Glendale, and also I was able to get
Thomas Kincaid.
Oh, the Thomas Kincaid, that's right. And so and like I said, the Honda Center was absolutely incredible. And these tickets were really hard to get. Mm-hmm. They were not easy. Sarah was so stressed about it. And I was talking with Bryn earlier, and I was just like, it doesn't matter that I didn't get to do the TVA experience. It doesn't matter that I didn't get to do all the photo ops and all the pin quests and all the whatevers, because what I did get to do was amazing and magical, and you have to be okay with what you did and not what you didn't do.
Yeah.
Even if Catherine Hahn is late, you just move on with your day.
Yeah.
But they gave popsicles.
They did.
Yeah.
Yes.
My tongue was purple.
Yes. And the DJ who asked the same question over and over again. So you guys big Marvel fans? We've been waiting an hour and a half for Catherine Hahn. Yes, we're Marvel fans.
Yeah, we're Marvel fans.
Think of another question to ask us, okay?
Yes.
All right. Anyone? Joey.
Man, like every year this thing gets bigger and bigger. Because of Courtney, I was able to meet Michael Vargo for the first time. So big shout out to Michael Vargo and the whole entire D23 team and the Disney cast members for, this event was amazing. One thing that was a big change was it changed from the D23 Expo to the Ultimate Fan event. And that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
So, because we've been in a couple chats, and some people are, oh no, it's the Parks Day. This is where the focus is on. It's like,
oh, this is the biggest day ever. I'm like, no, the whole weekend is big.
yeah,
It's not just about the parks.
This weekend is for the ultimate fans, the people that are waking up early, going to bed late, to wake up early, to go to bed late,
to record throughout the night,
rinse, repeat. So, I mean,
It's currently the next day. It's currently Monday.
The more you swear, the more I have to edit. Yes, we've been recorded from one day to the next.
But no, it's just this weekend has been amazing. I mean, for me personally, it was a birthday weekend, a vacation, D23, and I've been hanging out with you guys for the last couple of years, and now hanging out with Courtney and then Kelly, and it's like how this family. So like personally, this has been such an incredible D23 for me, and just everything. It just gets bigger, and I think I was telling the girls, they might need to go another day.
Yeah.
There's so much Disney IP. And if they're doing the Honda Center again, which they should because it works, they got to add another day. But
yeah, we kicked off this whole weekend with your birthday, Joey.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
We started with Noble Ale Works, shout out, and we're ending with Noble Ale Works at the hotel room.
Right.
Hey.
So I know Sarah mentioned the Harry Porter, but we are drinking a Watch Me Whip, which is a Dole Whip seltzer.
It's
so.
very good.
Yeah, we're not getting paid for these endorsements.
Not a paid
I
advertisement.
got some Diet Coke.
No, but
Kelly, you're not driving, are you?
No,
She's
no.
living on the edge.
We're literally sitting in our hotel room.
no, and you guys rightfully so gave this expo a 10 out of 10. I only say 8 because there's always room for more.
Yeah.
So I can't wait till the next one.
I mean, I only said 7.5 because we had a little bit of a negative experience, but like I said, overall, it didn't really bring down. I would say what I learned is don't listen to people who say don't queue up.
Oh,
Queue up.
Yeah.
Because
you want to do it, queue up.
Yeah, if you want to do it, queue up because where you are in line matters.
and when they say don't bring in food, bring in food.
Bring in food.
Bring in
You
food.
can try. We tried.
Yeah.
And that was actually my one big complaint is the last 2 nights at the I got to say this because this bugged the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Sorry. But the last 2 nights where they said Honda Center, don't take cameras with the detachable lenses, all this stuff. Cool. Right on. That's the rules. I respect that. The 2 people behind us had detachable lens cameras.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, okay, that's cool because I want to take it for the movie panel. But I won't take it to the parks panel, but I want to take it for the Legends panel. So I brought it tonight. Oh, sir, you can't take that camera in. Well, the guys behind me, the last 2 nights I've had, well, does that attach? Yeah. Well, you can't take it. Well, they don't either. So I'm like, I'm not trying to argue, but whatever.
Yeah, I was able to bring in sandwiches and food, but other people were saying they had to throw away their sandwiches.
Oh, yeah, we threw away
to throw
fruit snacks
away
and granola bars.
Yeah.
Like I said, it all depends on who you get for a security
Exactly.
guard.
So, but don't get mad at the people.
No.
They're doing their job. It's
They're
just
doing their job right.
so
Exactly.
I got to throw that out.
Yeah, but the thing is,
It's just
what I was
frustrating.
saying is,
Communication.
I really wanted to do the signing with Peter Son, the director of Elemental, because it is my favorite Pixar movie.
Okay.
It's really, it's really had like an effect of not a really effect, but like it's really meaningful to our relationship.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to get a print signed by him. So, but we were not able to win the RSP, so we had to do standby. Well, what they did is they took everybody that was in standby for all of the talent signings all day long and put them up in a long line up against the back row there.
Oh.
And then what they did is when the signing was happening, like first up was Mark Head. Anybody here for Mark? Anybody here for Mark? Anybody here for Mark? Now, with standby, totally understood. You may not get in. May not do it. Even if we take you over there, may not get in. Cool. Well, like Mark had about 4 or 5 lines of standby. Peterson had about 4 or 5 lines of standby. Then they finally brought in the next photo op, which was the zombies one. They had about 4 or 5 lines. They would ever so often just bring 1 line for each person over. Because, like, Marquette and Peterson overlapped for about 15 minutes. So they would wait to see if it got shorter, and then they would bring another line over. Well, and they signed for an hour, too. Well, Peter was taking a little bit longer than Mark because Mark wasn't really doing a lot of photo ops as well with the signing. Peterson took a picture with everybody, which was fine because if he was going to do that, I was going to do it too. You know what I mean? But it took a little bit longer, and so they took the last line right before our line, and then he said he's not going to be able to get through it. I'm sorry. So we kind of wasted
a good chunk of the morning.
A good chunk of the morning.
So I guess the takeaway, too, would be maybe between D23s, maybe they kind of do a little get-together with people that have gone and kind of, like, do it.
Yeah, but I feel like with the RSPs, they let you choose your top 4 of everything that they're offering, and then they only gave most of us 1 or 2 things.
Right.
Which we found out if you got a
Friday or Sunday one, you got 2 things. You got one on Friday, one on Sunday.
But if you got Saturday,
but if you got
Saturday,
you only got 1.
Interesting.
And he got Percy Jackson. We got the Disney Channel, which we got the same one.
Right.
And we couldn't go to it.
And we couldn't go to it because we had to go to the Honda Center. And when they were doing the modifier ad thing, it didn't work at all. It wouldn't let us add anything. And we were, I mean, we knew we couldn't go to it, but we also was like, I'm too scared to get rid of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he can reach out to you on social media.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
And follow up. So if he were to do that, where would they reach you?
Could find us at Neverland Clubhouse Pod.
All right.
On Instagram.
And then Joey, where can people find you on social media?
Well, I just want to say for all you Rampage like Lorcana, shame on you.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
But
you shut down a booth, man. You shut it down.
But great convention though. But you can find me at the Disney Universe Podcast on Instagram, or if you want to really dig deep and get heated, JPitty23.
All right.
Or and one more. Courtney actually just started Instagram for Elements of Fun.
Elements of Fun.
So it's Elements of Fun YT.
Kelly.
You can just find me at Kelly Turckel.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Shopping.
All right, then we'll wrap up this segment. And how should we wrap up this segment? What is the big takeaway? What is the big catchphrase? What is something we can say to fade out on?
Chee-hoo!
And
Neverland on Alderaan.
that wraps up episode 478 of
Skywalking Through Neverland.
We want to thank Courtney and Kelly Turckel and Joey Pittman for using their very last bit of energy to record with us.
We
all
recorded
through
from
the night.
Sunday night into Monday morning.
Yes, we did. And we want to thank you, all of you Skywalkers who listen every week, and those of you who are new, welcome. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel to get notifications for when we go live, because we love chatting with you as we record. Now, you can also find us on all socials at Skywalking Pod.
Now, do you have something that you want to share? Because we have tons of stuff we want to share with you every single Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. We do a live YouTube show, which is also live on Instagram as well, where we share what we've done that week. If we went to a Disney park, had a fun experience, merchandise, and then we open it up to you Skywalkers so you can come on and share something that you had done. Something that, if you had just gotten a new collectible, your loads of comic books, your D23 merchandise.
Yeah.
Come on and show us what you have.
In fact, this past week, we did it this Monday, and Kelly popped on the live stream and showed us what she had purchased at D23, and we shared what we had purchased at D23. So.
Like Teak.
Oh, and I already put Fantasia Mickey up where he belongs. But Grogu is going to join us.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
This is what Sarah got at D23 and really loves it. It's a little Snoke bag clip. Sarah loves this.
Snoke is ugly.
Snoke? Hey.
He's ugly.
You watch that tone. Watch that tone.
Snoke's ugly. I don't like him. Okay.
But you know what I do like?
What?
Today in Star Wars history. What?
That's your book.
Yes. So if we don't do Today in Star Wars history on the show, we can crack open your book and see what happened that day in Star Wars history and our interactive notebook, Skywalking Through My Fandom. Both are available at skywalkingthroughneverland.com/book. That's where you can get autographed copies.
Exactly. Yes. Now, would you like to support Skywalking Through Neverland? You can consider supporting us through the Skywalking Force, our Patreon. And the Skywalking Force has access to bonus content in the form of our Zoom discussions on past Disney Plus shows, upcoming discussions on Agatha All Along, because that starts up next month. And you also get coupon codes to use for our books. And this bonus content begins at only $5 a month. So head to skywalkingforce.com, have a look at the options available. And thank you to those of you who are already part of the Skywalking Force. I think we have 7 new Skywalking Force members since last month.
Woohoo!
Yeah!
All right. Now, we also want to thank our sponsor, Small World Vacations, for their continued support. Thinking of a trip to a Disney park or on a Disney cruise? We can fill out a Get a Quote form at smallworldvacations.com today. Their vacation planning service is free of charge, so check them out and tell them Skywalking Through Neverland sent you.
Okay, Skywalkers, get ready. Get ready here. Oh, hello there, Skywalkers Academy. Get ready. We are part of the Skywalking Network.
Skynet. Where you can find other great shows like Talking Apes,
The Max Effects Podcast,
The Neverland Clubhouse,
Totally Tell Me Everything,
Star Warsologies,
and the YouTube shows Collectopolis and
Today in Star Wars History.
Skynet says Skywalkers Academy.
Now, don't forget to stick around for bloopers and other fun bits that didn't make it into the show. And
always remember to buy the merch when you see it. And
Neverland on Alderaan.
You know what?
There we go.
We're going to change.
All right.
All right, now you'll be able to tell the 2 episodes apart. Okay.
More clappy claps.
Okay, here we go.
I think so.
Hope and Faith, the sitcom from the 90s?
Exactly.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's Kelly Ripa.
That was Kelly Ripa?
Yeah, Faith
I
Ford.
thought with
Faith Ford. Yeah.
Faith Ford, yeah.
and the actor who wrote Different Strokes and Facts of Life theme. I can see his face.
Norman Lee? No.
No. They wrote the theme. Sarah's looking it up right now.
Well, yeah. Kelly Ripa was in that. Yeah.
Well,
I'm thinking Hope and Gloria. Never mind.
Oh,
No.
but it's funny because
Hey, look at those names to the left. They are part of the Skywalking Force, our Patreon.
Become a producer yourself and check out all the Disney Plus themed bonus content available depending on the level you subscribe.
Become a member of the elite Skywalking Force at skywalkingforce.com.